Hey guys, Erik and I here, and this is Furi, one of the new free games from PlayStation Network this month. In this video, I'll be reviewing the game, telling you what I think, how it made me feel, whether or not I think you should get it, so let's jump right in and start with the story.
Shake your head, nod your head. It's time to go.
Things start off seeming pretty straightforward. You are imprisoned for some reason, and a guy in a bunny mask frees you and tells you to kill a bunch of sci-fi nightclub owner-looking enemies. Okay, maybe not that straightforward. You'll definitely find yourself asking questions about what's going on, and that never really ends. The more you listen to what this bunny man has to say between fights, the more you start wondering if you're doing the right thing. As you're fighting from boss to boss to get your way out of this huge space prison, our protagonist always holds this facial expression of concern, almost worry, that seems to carry the weight of ambiguous morality pretty well. It's the kind of story that, for me anyway, takes a few playthroughs to really absorb and pick apart the clues to try and figure out what's going on. One thing is for sure though, that bunny mask man is not a good person. Not one bit.
Just remember, she's messing with your head. Don't listen to her.
The main feature of gameplay is the combat, which is an awesome marriage of reflex-heavy swordplay and bullet hell shoot-'em-ups. You've got a health bar and an indicator for how many lives you have. And the bosses always have way more lives than you. Each time you take away one of their lives, they enter a new phase and up the ante by increasing in difficulty and attacking you a bit more relentlessly. It helps that if you've lost a life, defeating one phase of a boss grants you a life back. The controls are reactive and tight. The lightest tap of a button executes something awesome every time, and it feels great. Your reflexes will be tested. At first, you will fail. Then when you succeed, the game will test your new reflexes. Furi's design and the progress of difficulty was clearly very well thought out and meticulous. At first, I was slightly disappointed that I didn't get to fight smaller enemies in between boss fights, but I couldn't be happier with taking a break from combat to listen to the awesome music, take in the gorgeous environments, and listen to this weird bunny man give me the snippets of the story.
Time to move on. Go cross his path, my friend. The jailer is the key.
This game is not easy in the least. You are meant to die quite a lot and learn from your enemy's attack patterns in order to achieve victory. Thankfully, you can change the difficulty at any time during the game, but I feel like playing easy mode with this particular title takes away from the overall experience. I wouldn't judge you if you did though. I'll admit I was tempted a couple of times myself. But if you're looking for an even harder challenge, beating the game unlocks the highest difficulty called Furier. I guess because the Nazis were pretty difficult as well. You can also replay any boss after beating them to try and get a better score and unlock concept art. The replay value of Furi is great, and I definitely plan on attempting it at the highest difficulty, only to give up and break my controller into many, many pieces.
There is so much to enjoy here.
The art style in this game is minimalistic, smooth, and gorgeous. Especially between battles, it's great to see how much creativity went into designing this lush, sci-fi atmosphere. Each environment is unique and does a great job of reflecting each boss's personalities. The graphics themselves aren't massively impressive if you're looking for realism, but they're beautiful nonetheless. Projectiles dance across the screen like you're at an electronic music festival. Character and enemy movements are flashy and well choreographed, making you feel like you just pulled off something amazing when you get the best of an enemy. Once you get a boss to their last life, they typically start barraging you with waves of projectiles that turn your screen into a gorgeous psychedelic screensaver. This game is full of eye candy. I highly recommend that you play this game with a good set of speakers or a nice headset because the sounds in this game might just be my favorite part. I've always been a huge fan of the electronic band Justice, but I've always had a hard time finding other music like it. This game's soundtrack is the best remedy I could have asked for. The old school electro beats and melodies are a perfect accompaniment to the action on screen, even when you're just calmly walking to the next boss fight. The sound effects of you and your enemy's attacks are both satisfying and dooming. Not to mention important cues for when you ought to be blocking or dashing the attacks headed your way. I cannot recommend this game and its soundtrack enough. Luckily, the game is free on PlayStation Network for another 2 weeks. You can also get it on Steam for $25 and the soundtrack itself for $15, or you can get the bundle of both and get 33% off, which amounts to close to $34. I've provided links to all of those in the description below, as well as the Bandcamp page for the soundtrack if you want to give it a good listening to. And I want to hear from you. Did you play it? Have you beaten it? What was your interpretation of the story? What is it with this guy and bunnies? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. As always, please like and subscribe if you like this review. It does me a world of good. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.